Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Just Roll It Already. I'm your host, Daryl.
I'm your other host, Jeremiah.
Guest star Matt.
And today we will be doing our game talk. And today we will be talking about role-playing interactions. So, what we mean by role-playing interactions is meaning in character or even out of character to a degree of interacting with the party and or group.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you're playing the character that doesn't introduce themselves or doesn't want to be part of the party or always trying to do their own thing, it's talking about interacting with other party members to make a role-playing experience unique.
Can I start off this party with the horror stories I
Yes.
have so adamantly speak of at any given point I have a campaign? This is the biggest thing I like to bring up. We have a player who, during a campaign, he died like 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And every character he made, he never introduced himself. So when he died, I told the party, you cannot put his name on his grave. Because he never introduced himself. He is getting an unmarked... You're going to throw him in a ditch on the side of the road because you don't know that person. You never even asked him his name.
Yeah.
He is a nobody to you. And that's the biggest problem I have with characters is that they use out-of-game knowledge to assume that they already know someone's name when they were never introduced formally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, if you're being a person's antisocial, just stalking the party kind of thing, because I think I know what you're talking about when it comes to role-playing. Following the party just because they're there, that is kind of messed up.
Hostile.
Yeah. It's hostile, and I mean, I think I was in the game with you about that, and it did get a little bit bizarre.
In-game terms, you guys had full volition to kill that other player, and it wouldn't seem bad because if someone's stalking you, you might... Oh, he's stalking us, so I need to kill him. That's...
Yeah, because, I mean, really, all that player did do was just, oh, you guys going, okay, I'm gonna come with you.
No, go away. We don't like you.
Why?
Some random stranger comes, hey, can I hang out with you guys?
Can I be your friend?
And that's creepy.
Yeah, sorry, Slagathor, no.
No,
you can't be our friend.
You need to back away. The wintry freshness of mace, because it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
That's a big part of role-playing interaction. One of the biggest things I would say to any GM, DM, player, introduce yourself. Really take the time to say your name in game because you don't want to have an unmarked grave.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. Don't have an unmarked grave.
Yeah.
That is sad.
Well, assuming you're dead, but another part about the whole role-playing interactions, even if a group is just starting, you're in a room and you never met these people before. What do you do? And they come forth and they start introducing themselves and talking. Well, there's going to be guaranteed that one douchebag who's going to sit there and say, well, I don't want to talk to anybody because it's not what my character would do. And on top of that, I'm not going to tell them my name, except I'm going to follow them around all times.
Just well, you're just creepy. Why would we let you do that?
Well, now that means you're not in the game. Pick up your stuff and leave, because at this point, it's now, the fact is you're not going to be able to do in the game. I'm not saying that to be rude, it's you will literally be left behind. And so at that point, why are you here?
Yeah. Leaving the whole topic about interactions, maybe even hostility. Let's take a look at the hostility factor of player versus player. Okay,
diametrally opposed beliefs, like a paladin and a druid.
Yes.
Somewhere along the lines. Or maybe you just committed murder in front of this person and you never knew them.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and say, oh, my character's perfectly fine with it. And I look at their alignment or look at their character's backstory and you say, how is this okay? The guy just murdered 5 old ladies who offered him apples and socks.
You're lawful good. You should have a problem with this.
Yeah. This is... And also
Slay him where he stands.
Yeah, and also, sometimes people are just too eager to kill.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big one for me to say because all the time, in any and every game I have ever ran, somebody wants to murder somebody.
There's 2 kinds of players I see. Either they're too eager to kill or they're too eager to show mercy.
Okay.
We all have to be allied up. It's well, sometimes characters are diametrically opposed, and sometimes you might have to kill another player for roleplay purposes.
Okay, a good example, we bring it up all the time, my Eclipse Phase game.
Yeah.
Okay, we are an entire group of people that I'm running that are from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different factions in the game, and yet they're all working together because there's a purpose behind it, because each individual has skills and knowledges that the other group doesn't have.
Yeah.
And we got your character, Jeremiah. He's a kind of like an old gumshoe Victorian England private eye, yeah. And you, Matt, you're playing the
ex-mercenary gorilla grog
Russian mafioso.
Russian mafioso.
Okay, and then we have John. He's playing a freaking
pop
Male,
star diva.
a male Britney Spears.
A male Britney Spears that's kind of mixed with Skrillex and
Like a male, what is
Lady
it?
Gaga.
No, Hisune Miko or whatever.
oh, that's messed up.
Yeah.
And then Erin, she's
Vocaloids.
playing a psychosurgeon, a sync, and everyone has Mike, he's playing an Infolife. And Infolifes are complete technology. They're not, they have no physical body. They're literally in the mesh, which is the internet, and you can't do anything other than electronically based stuff.
That's the only thing about it. This is a very diverse party.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
but
are
the
really-
way I strung it is because everyone has their skill sets. Even the main guy who is the go-between, he even said, you are all together because of your differences.
Yeah.
You are all strong and weak on your own, and you each make a perfect group. You have social abilities. You have the in-depth understanding of people's interaction. You have the ability to see things. You have the ability to be the muscle. You are an expert at hacking and gathering information. Well, everyone works together, and it's a perfect unity because everyone could kill each other at any given time or leave at any given time, but based because of the interactions with one another, everybody stays together.
Yeah, like a nifty thing I always like to point out, especially in one of our other friends' games. I play Paladin, and in his world, Paladin abilities are not dictated by lawful good or lawful evil or whatever you want. But I still play him as lawful good, and like the reason I say I could play lawful good Paladin when one of our party members is an assassin, just a cold-blooded kill. I murder the old lady. Why? She had a pretty necklace, and I bet you I could sell it. Like the only reason I play with that one, even in character, is because for the greater good, you can let some things slide.
Like, I need him right now.
Yeah,
But
like-
once the main villain is dead, he has to die.
or repent, sinner, repent.
And that's what I was actually trying to bring up. Like, sure, you can have players like, all right, one's a rapist and one's a cop in a game. Now, sure, in a normal game, if you don't roleplay it right, the cop is generally going to kill that other player,
Yeah.
and then the player's going to roll a new character. Things like that happen. But if you need to, as role players and as a GM, to try and make it to where, why are these guys in a party together?
Yeah, set it up. As a game master, my tip for about setting up role-playing interactions, put them in a situation that makes them feel they've been put together because of their differences, okay? If we take it to a fantasy setting, generic fantasy setting, you are the Deadeye Elf, right, stereotype. You are the roguishly handsome and dashing man who happens to be a rogue and very good at sneaking. You are the holy man who is the moral compass of the party, and you are the
Half-orc barbarian.
half-orc barbarian whose purpose is to
murder kill.
defend and protect. Maybe an idiot, but hey, you're loyal as a dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Even then, all their differences are put together because, let's face it, a rogue can't sit there and take a hit. The barbarian can't sit there and do an intelligent action that's not kill, smash, and loot.
Yeah.
And the holy man is the one who keeps everyone from murdering everyone else. But even then, if you take a look at another thing, people who, even in role-playing interaction out of game too, okay, you're role-playing a character. Maybe you have a little bit of a beef with the other player, and you passively, aggressively attack them.
Leave that out. Yeah, leave that out.
Yeah.
You're not
Okay.
beef with the character, beef with the player. Leave that at that.
Okay, he who shall not be gamed did that all the time.
Yeah, it's
He
passive-aggressive.
murdered us constantly. The only person who has been spared of it right now is Matt. He has never met the guy, and he has been
So
blessed the fact
thankful.
he hasn't.
So thankful.
He's never killed like me. He's never killed me in character with his characters, but he has killed me like when he is the GM. Like he's like, okay, your character's dead. Do I get a save of some sort?
No.
Nah, not really.
Really, he murdered me constantly in character and out of character. Not out of character. How to be alive.
Killed you out of
As a player and GM. Okay,
Yeah.
and it gets annoying.
Yeah. Actually, a great game I was thinking about, which allows for such diversity of players to have interaction and still keep a coherent party. It shows you a good plot device. Call of Cthulhu. You can literally be any background, and like we all have to work together. Why? Because it's the end of the world, and if
Yeah,
we don't, it's the end. Like
You really are looking at that book right now, and you're like frothing at the mouth, and
Drooling.
I'm sitting there looking at it as a Cthulhu staring me down. I'm like, oh, screw you, screw
like,
you.
everybody at home there, I am a huge Lovecraftian fan. By the way.
I love the stories. I hate the game, and it's not because you look at the horror stories, and you'll find out why if you don't know.
But yeah,
Unspeakable horror is just so fun.
but it's a good plot device to show like sometimes like okay like with player interaction it gets players together. Like
Yeah.
here's a common goal. Sure, you're all diametrically opposed to each other, but through this common goal you find functionality. Now, some players, even in the light of that, will be like, I still want to kill him. Why? Because my character would. It's like, well, could you, for the sake of, functioning in this campaign, not? And try and find a good reason. Use your brain, imagination, and that's what the game is about. Find a way for it to work. I mean, really.
Like, I remember in one of your games, my character was just vicariously elected leader of the party. So,
sorry to interrupt you, but I remember that because that if you want role-playing interaction nightmare, that was a role-playing interaction nightmare.
Yeah.
It was needed, though. It was,
it was
needed. Definitely needed.
Well, also on top of that, maybe role-playing interactions and also group actions, it's not just on the game master, because also the players. Because Jeremiah, I was in your game. I was not there for like 2-3 sessions.
It went to chaos.
I came back and it was a nightmare. Like I apparently was obligatorily looted when I was away via proxy, and then people kept on messing with my stuff, and I thought, whoa, this is not okay.
Yeah.
This is not cool. This is kind of going in your house, eating your food, using your toilet, not flushing, and then throw crap on the floor.
You know what this was? Actually, do you have a good image to people out there? This was, everybody became Captain Kurtz from Apocalypse Now. They're all in like South America in the jungle, just like, I've come to you, I'm the leader of these people. Like, that's what they did. Like, just complete chaos, shirtless and fat.
Yeah.
And just on a throne.
Shirtless and fat.
On a throne in South America. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you became the leader based on my actions, and everyone was pissed off at me for doing this, but it made sense. And I sat there and I said, okay, this is not cool. All right, I'm going to do this in character. In character. Shame on all of you.
Yeah.
I throw heaping shames at you. You think you're right. You think you're good. You think you're awesome. You think you're this. I think I'm this. Well, guess what? We're all wrong, and I'm going to scold you all, and this is what's going to happen. You are going to have to work together now.
Yeah.
We are in this mess together, and I don't care what you say. We need somebody in charge. We need somebody to do this. We need somebody to do that. Do not touch my stuff, or I will kill you. And guess what? Since this doesn't work for me, here you go. Since I don't need this, there you go. Matt, you're leader. Congratulations. Peace.
It was a vote. It was a vote.
Yeah, it was a vote, but I almost think it was like a hate vote.
Everyone hated me.
It was just
Like,
screw you,
think they
buddy.
voted for-
We'll vote for the fun one.
yeah, they voted for Matt. Like, we want the cool dad. Like, the one we get sent to on the weekends,
I
who
will
buys us video
be-
games. Like,
I will be the enemy at any given day if it means the role-playing session
and
is
it
good.
helps. Like,
It
no,
really helps.
He sacrificed himself like almost for commonality good. Like,
Yeah.
they just all voted for Matt, and I felt like they vote like it was like there was two elected political leaders here, and they voted for Matt.
Yeah.
Out of like some
Spite.
Yeah.
I hate him. So
don't
I'm gonna
give
go
a
with the only one I
crap.
don't not like about. Yeah. Well, I damn near felt bad.
Well, don't feel bad because the game after that became fun, but then my schedule got chaotic and I couldn't play anymore.
Yeah. But
also the cross talking.
yeah. But the cross.
Oh, and dramatic backstory was there, and a very
Yeah, because I remember one of our other
Players.
players,
Yeah.
in there, what he would just completely railroad like player interaction.
That's actually a perfect example. Like, when a player goes off on his own, he's now eliminated the interaction like altogether.
well. Also, the we call him the Butter,
Yeah.
Mr. Butter.
The
Mr.
butter.
Buttersworth.
Yeah, Mr. Buttersworth.
There we go.
Because Mr. Buttersworth here is he's one of those kind of people we talked about in our horror, like our worst things about gaming etiquette. Yeah, he was mainly we're thinking about that guy.
Probably the central focus, really.
Yeah, pretty much. He
the
was
opposite of that guy.
we're talking about the kind of guy that sat on my couch and left a nasty present, and he was there. He just showed up, and I thought, oh crap, this guy. I thought I got rid of him, but he made a lot of problems. He was the one who stalked the party. He's the one who didn't introduce himself. We had we made a little garden and dug a hole 3 feet deep and covered it with rocks just to be on the safe side, because when we knew somebody come flying through the sky, we'd just be ready to gank them.
Yeah. Like, because, I mean, like another thing, with the whole player interactions and the diametrically opposed, he played a lawful good paladin, like the sentinel of one of Jer's gods. What was it?
Vita.
Vita.
She's like the goddess of like life, but she's also kind of a goddess of war and justice. Like that's
Yeah. And so, at that point, I was the dramatic leader of our party, and I just accepted him in because, well, okay, we kind of need you, healer, yay, And we got to a place where I thought a specific action was going to happen, and it would cause the death of one of my characters in-game friend. And I was just like, all right, time to assert my evil authority for me and me alone. Let's see which one of you is like gonna be the moral compass. It degraded into, yeah, party leader said we can go kill and murder whoever you want. Awesome.
Yeah, Machiavellian.
Yeah, Machiavellian.
Steel fist.
Steel fist. I tell him, all right, kill that guy. Go get my friend. Paladin just pushes the guy off a ledge.
Yeah, the paladin, mind you, let's say this, it has wings. It played a creature that had wings.
Yeah.
Flew over, grabbed the friend, and then just like, while these people were holding on to his friend,
Yeah.
he like basically the paladin like pulled them into lava.
Yeah.
And just dropped like 8 people into lava.
Yeah.
Like, some of them could have been evil, some of those people could have been good. You willingly just sacrificed a bunch of people on the whim of another.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Just,
Again, heaping shames of shame on you.
yeah,
Yeah,
heaping
that's-
shames of shame on me.
It's like, oh, but it's not my fault. He gave me he told me to do something. Like, well, you're still...
You got to do things within the character's confines and what you talk about. You can remain consistent at least when it comes down to interactions.
Yeah.
Because I can't be suddenly saying, like, putting in D&D terms again, because everyone plays it, or the understanding of it, a lawful good person suddenly going to chaotic good, then for lawful evil, then chaotic evil, to neutral good, to neutral evil.
They're just jumping around the whole alignment spectrum.
Hell, even just going to straight neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I would say this player that we're speaking of currently, Mr. Buttersworth, is actually a perfect example of, like, some of the failings of role-playing interaction, because he was angry with me. Now, he played a lot of mercenaries, and he was angry that he couldn't get into the party. I'm like, well, okay, it is on the GM's part to help a player get into a campaign when it comes to join a party, but it's also still on the player's part, though, to get their way in, like, that way in. And basically, my part as the GM, I put him in front of their face, like I used some sort of plot device which made him have to interact, or made them have to interact with him.
Yeah.
Now, beyond that, though, after the force hidden beyond the veil that kind of interacts with the puppets in a game, as the player, it's his responsibility to be able to make the interaction, to be able to be like, hey guys, in simple enough terms, hey guys, I want to join your party. You guys look like you need a paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
You're trustworthy.
yeah, like,
Come and join us.
Yeah. Yeah.
never.
Trustworthy.
He just like, and he put blame on me that I couldn't get him into the campaign. I'm like, you need to
Well,
say something.
on top of that, none of us wanted Mr. Butterworth around anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, which made it even like harder. Like, how the hell am I
Yeah.
supposed to push him into the freaking campaign?
Yes. Push him out. That's how.
Yeah.
And eventually you did.
Yeah.
Now, it does work like in the very beginning of a campaign. You can just force all the players to,
Interact.
like, in our one shot of the vampire D&D game or Pathfinder,
Yeah.
we all knew each other.
By the way,
Yeah.
that game's awesome.
Yeah,
It
is,
was
but we all
so
knew each
fun.
other, so it eliminated the role-playing interaction needed to know each other.
Yeah.
But once you're already like a year into the game and someone like dies and they need a way back in,
Then that becomes the hard part, but also the new quest and the session to integrate this
Yeah.
person into the group, because let's face it, you don't sit there and you have a job interview and say, okay, get to work. No. It's like building a friend and a companion and a comrade. This takes time, and it takes a lot of effort. I sat there in games and everyone says, okay, well, I accept you just the way you are. I mean, there was a game I played in not too long ago that it felt like, okay, I don't see any reason why I'm going to be here, but mainly for the fact of just being for the sake of the game, I'm just going to go along with it for no explanation. And it's perfectly fine by me.
now strictly speaking from a D&D kind of standpoint, I don't really see it much in other role-playing games, but I don't think I've ever seen more of a paranoid player base than like D&D. That's why
Yeah.
that's a big part about trying to integrate other players, is that people are so like, it doesn't matter who they are, they could be the most logically calculating person or the most accepting person. They'll always be
Yeah.
like, he has like cyanide hidden up his sleeve. I just know it. That is a 5-year-old boy with candy. He has
Yeah.
cyanide up his sleeve. Like, it's no.
You know, it's just, I don't like his eyes. He's
I don't like the
looking
cut
at me
of,
funny.
I don't like the cut
Every-
of his jib. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
The majority of the game's players are paranoid because they're so used into the I charge the castle and I kill everyone in my way. Well, what if some of the players are actually part of the castle?
Yeah, like I'm trying to introduce him as an NPC first, and then
Okay,
he becomes a
yeah,
player.
let's just say, Jeremiah, you're a character with a barbarian horde. Matt, you are a trader who's in the dungeon, and we'll say John's there, and he's the princess. Well, guess what? You break into the castle and you go down into the dungeons and you see him.
I might free him. Like, he's up against them. I might free him. Yeah.
And then we see Princess John, and what do you guys do?
Oh, I take her because she's worth money.
Her.
And I might just destroy her and make an example because she's my enemy right now. So.
Okay, and then maybe along the way, you and Princess John fall in love because of the whole captive crap.
Yes.
And I have her babies. Wait, what?
Yeah, and then you guys
one of
become, or maybe Princess John hated her father and then decided to join you guys as a bandit group to take from the rich and give to the poor, Robin Hood style, or maybe just to be out of spite, kill a few towns.
Yeah, see? And now your way, we all group together and the player interaction works. But now me, immediately, I'm thinking, like, I end up killing the princess, and that's where the role-playing interaction breaks down. And now you have a player killing another player because they're not doing proper, like, they're not trying to properly, like...
Well, also, we don't have
make
Princess
a
John.
reason.
We don't have Princess John here right now either.
to give, like, what his actions would probably be. But, like, you need to break it down to, like, sure, your character might do this, right? But you need to, in a clever fashion, think of a way to where you can be grouped with other players. And don't be like, well, I don't want to. Well, then why are you even playing?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be... It's not... And I'm a broken record, but this is my mantra. This is my house mantra, my house coat of arms. Yeah. And that is... Role-playing is not, look what I can do, it's look what we can do.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah. We're all standing together. If we don't work together, we're all going to die. And there's very few games that are designed for soloing. And also, it's hard to separate people in a game, and it's just a strain.
And it's because it's a party game. That's the whole... I think that there's games that could make solo, you could solo, but why would you? It's the whole point about...
Yeah,
let's
lone
party.
wolf games are... I will admit, I had some fun with some lone wolf games, but I mainly like the interaction between friends.
Yeah.
You
That's the
guys
whole
are all
point,
my
yeah.
friends. Everybody who generally comes on this mic are my friends. We play together. We get to know each other. We talk to each other. I mean, maybe someday some of you listeners might be on here talking to me, and I get to know you guys better. And hey, maybe a few online games in the future. You're gonna have to work on that part because I treat my friends well and I work with them. If I don't know you and I don't know who you are, I mean, when I first met Jeremiah and he started gaming with me, I wasn't too sure what was gonna happen. Same with you, Matt.
Yeah.
And John. Hell, it took me a long time to get to know John. Mr. Buttersworth. Well, I found out quickly about what kind of person he was.
He destroyed your couch.
It's just a horror story.
But
yeah, you listened to
digressing.
that.
Yeah.
Digressing. You heard that one, folks. You know it.
So, but yeah, player interaction, role-playing interaction. Also, we were going to talk about when it comes to role-playing interaction, voices.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
voices.
Character, keeping in character. How now? Mind you, I want to know what is your views, Daryl and Matt, on what keeping in character.
Keeping in character is important to me because I love being in character. I like to keep with the tone. I like to keep with the accent. I like to keep with the attitude and the personality type because it makes me feel like, hey, you know what? I'm taking a little bit of part of me that's in there somewhere. Maybe I'm playing my very brutish person and he's very difficult to be around, but let's just face it, when you earn his loyalty, he is going to be by your side. Or maybe I'm going to play the idiot who sits there and who's all giggles. I'm going to keep to him when he talks in the character. Hey, my half-orc witch in your game, Kaleo, I always talked in his character.
Yeah.
And I had a very specific personality type. And he stayed that way constantly. I didn't suddenly stop. And there's like that one night I just could not get into the accent. I said, just imagine me with my accent. I'm still talking the same.
I know, and I like that actually. You're one of the few players I've had that has actually been in character, which is nice. It's a good change. Like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, I'm more of the kind of halfway in, to full character envelopment and like halfway into just my character. Well, because sometimes if it's questions that are directed by me, by the DM, I'll go ahead and indulge in my little role playing. But if I'm talking with other players or just generally BSing around in the game, I won't adopt that air because it almost seems to me like I don't want to force my personality or like role playing onto the game. I kind of want it to be natural, and I'm always afraid that if I go really heavy into the accent and no one understands what the heck I'm saying, I'm just going to be, oh well, okay, what he meant by that was blanky blanky blank.
Oh, the anima game, you had a pretty fun character too. What was his name?
Gunnar sent us hello, and he flips his hair.
Okay, that's a character that I loved, and he did such an awesome hair flip one time. He knocked himself out.
Yeah, I love style. That is the greatest skill point ever in the end.
Well, I have
Better
to
than smell?
Better than smell.
Oh, but smell is amazing. So I had a character named Fernando Cortez, who was a La Sombra on the in Modern Knights, and he's like, I am Fernando. I do as I please. I'm, the blood of my blood, the legacy that flows through my veins. I will take you in the name of all the Camarellas, all of them. And like that is, I loved doing that, and it was a joke though. It became a little bit clown shoes because
Sometimes you put things into extremes. I've done accents. You guys heard me do accents. I can change extremely drastically, really fast, from me talking like this and that, down to my very interesting personality types that are very suave and cliche. Ouais.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
oui, bon avait,
Yeah.
oui.
At least I'm not like, oui, monsieur.
Yeah.
Yo tengo necesito un agua, por favor.
Yeah.
Domo Gary gato, Mr. Roboto.
Everything ends in O. Hello, O. PCO, Mariachio, por
Yeah.
favor, O.
Like
Mexico.
Mexico. Oh, yeah. No. Now, I'm going to mention a character you hate.
Took the bar.
Is it my kobold?
Yeah, it is your kobold. And
Belphegor.
Belphegor Ivory. But I loved him because while he stayed in character, none of the outrageous, crazy, insane crap that he did actually seemed out of place. It was just like, wow, no, all right, he is a true nut job.
He was a combination of Deckard Cain, Bane, and some psychopath. And now, I stayed in character, and my roleplay interaction, I think, was relatively good. I would stay in character. I would treat other players as my character would, and he was very racist. He was a white dragon, so he's just like, white dragon power. But like, I would also, though, out of character, try to do things that would, like, one of our players wanted an item I had, so I had to figure out a way out of character to give that item to them without just handing it to them, because my character would not hand them an item. I had to find a way where I would, like, accidentally drop the item or something, and then the other player could walk up and get it. And I made sure that I did that. And that is a way, like right there, I did a perfect interaction between players that worked.
Yeah.
I wasn't handing them an item, which broke roleplay, because like why would my character just hand them an item? No, I had to figure out a way to give them the item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good to begin with.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to wrap this up. Last closing thoughts.
Always try to stay in character, and always try to figure out a way to make the interaction seem legit and workable, and don't just abandon it. Actually make it work, because it's, like I said before, it's not what I can do, it's what we can do.
Yeah. Now, I will say, yes, party comes first, you come second. Now, with the whole role-playing thing, if you're not comfortable with, speaking the accent or saying I or we or, it's okay to go, my character does this or my character does that.
Or like, you said, imagine my character's using a Scottish accent when he says this or something.
Yeah, just let people fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add to that, but let's just say that everything was covered. So anyways, thank you for listening. I'm your host, Daryl.
I'm your other host, Jeremiah.
I'm the guest star, Matt.
And if you enjoyed what you heard and you have anything that you want us to talk about or have any questions about, like, subscribe, and comment below, or just send us an email at our Gmail account at justrollitalready@gmail.com. Have a good day.
Ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
Ah.